Hey guys, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are just like me and for years have been trying to find a unique art style. I spent a ton of time looking at other art and taking parts that I like and tried to mash them into my own unique style. I mean, all the amazing artists I looked up to had their own unique art styles that are immediately recognizable. Great artists like Ross Draws, Loish, Haikala, Viori, and so many more have art that you can instantly go, oh, is that from insert name here? But I can promise you that a majority of these artists actually didn't seek out an art style, but kind of just fell into it over time. From my years of learning art, I can give you some tips to help you fall into your own art style. The first tip I have is to work on your fundamentals. Okay, geez, I'm sorry. I know you guys have heard this thousands of times, but seriously, having great fundamentals will do wonders for you. A great example I have is that previously I did a ton of anatomy studies, and ultimately when I came back to do my regular anime drawings, I noticed a huge improvement. What does that really have to do with style? You see, well, in my case, when I went to do more exaggerated drawings, it made things so much easier to understand how to actually exaggerate the anatomy into something that looks visually appealing. So yeah, definitely take a little bit of time to work on your fundamentals at the very least once in a while, and I promise you'll notice the difference. The second tip is to do iterative drawing. To start, let me say please watch Sycra's video on this topic because he can explain this way better than I ever could. The link is in the description if you guys want to check it out. But to give you a quick rundown, it's drawing multiple variations of the same thing until you find one that looks good or that you like. I actually do this quite a lot. For example, learning how to draw exaggerated lips, or if I want to make a character with cool looking like big forearms, I do iterative drawings until I found one that looks dope. Low-key, this might be the fastest way you will improve or find your art style. I'm doing quotation marks, but I guess technically you can't see me. The third one I've mentioned a few times already, but once you work on your fundamentals, the next thing I would say is to start pushing your boundaries with exaggeration. This works amazingly with iterative drawing. My advice is to push it like all the way. So for example, let's make the eyes take up literally half of the face. And who knows, you may like something about it. So you may say like, take the nose and the mouth and make them really tiny and keep the eyes huge. And then it's like, this be looking kind of good still. And you keep making little variations until you get something you like. Wait, shit. Did I just explain how to draw chibis? The fourth tip, I guess technically falls under the fundamentals part, but I feel like it really deserves its own whole section. And that is coloring. Coloring will literally change your style for real. You can see that the initial drawing or sketches are pretty similar in style in each one of these, but because of how different the coloring is on all of the drawings, they give completely different feelings to the drawings. You can have an anime sketch but paint on a realism coloring / shading style you like, and it could change it from anime to semi-realism. Maybe you don't like how the shading looks, so you want to go for something more flat and cutesy. You can eliminate all those shadows and bring your colors like into the pastels, and bam, you have a cool looking cute art style there. Hell, even cyberpunk is known for its high brightness, high saturation areas contrasted with desaturated, gritty, metallic areas, and it just works. Also, some artists tend to stick more to certain colors that they like. I've noticed that pink and purple tend to be really popular ones. Some other popular ones are like really vibrant saturated art, and others like the more desaturated colors. It's all just personal preference. Experiment with these as much as you can, and who knows, you may find something that you really like and stick to. The fifth tip is to expand out of whatever style you normally do every now and again. It'll give you more perspective, I guess, in art. And it may help you learn things that you may have never learned just continuing whatever style you do right now. Are you an anime artist like me? Try drawing realism or caricatures, believe it or not, and honestly, I don't even know why. It helps a lot. I've personally found that when I venture outside of what I normally do and then come back, I kind of come in with a fresh outlook on things, and it helps me with thinking outside of the box for my art. The sixth tip I don't really feel like I have to go in too much, but it's worth mentioning, is that you should probably decide what medium you want to do. The most popular tends to be digital, but a ton of artists also use oil, watercolor, graphite, gouache, and so many other mediums, and just scan it in, digitally touch it up, and like save it or reprint it for social media. I'd say don't really worry about this too much or overthink it. Just experiment in as many as you can, and the one you have the most fun with, invest the time in, and I promise you it will pay off. The last tip is just some good old-fashioned time. Give yourself time to grow and learn. No art style was ever developed in one night. Hell, a majority of the professional artists you look up to will never be done with their development. Look back at some of your favorite artists' art from only 3 to 5 years ago, and I promise you 9 times out of 10, you'll see quite a difference in style. Chances are in another 5, they're gonna develop their art style even more and it's gonna change again. Just keep your head down, keep working away, and I promise if you stay consistent with art, no matter what, you will automatically fall into your own style. It's definitely cool to let other artists inspire you and inspire your art, but don't make that your main focus, because ultimately, it may set you back. Anywho, thank you for listening, guys. I'm gonna go back to work on my art style now. Wink. I had to say wink because you can't see me. Sorry. Okay. Bye. Yeah. Bye.